Hey guys, Boris Asmari Forex. Welcome to the Forex Daily Techniques for 11/19/13. As always, trading foreign exchange or margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. I ask you to read this disclaimer very carefully to understand all the risks associated with margin and seek advice from a financial advisor if you have any doubts. Well, kind of an interesting day today. I mean, not sort of a little bit of a dull, boring day, but certain levels definitely got rejected today that are worth watching. The euro could not take out the 35.50s, came back down, kind of flamed out. And it's a pretty ominous sign here. So we're clearly seeing resistance of this 35, 35.50. We may make another run at it to the upside, but if we can't, the downside then beckons, and we're looking at 34.50, possibly back down to 34s as the short covering rally here in the euro runs out of gas. Really very little meaningful fundamental driving force here. It is just, honestly, almost unexplainable moves back. I think it's just basically corporate flow, technical flow. Who knows? It's just really not anything you could hang your hand on. If you're trading this technically, obviously 35.50 now becomes a top. To the bottom, 34 becomes support, and you're kind of just watching everything in slow motion. Aussie was a little clear, obviously. Aussie sort of failed at the 94 breakout, is very much now right in front of the RBA minutes, gearing up for a potential move up or down. RBA minutes expect to be dovish, so the market really sold the Aussie anticipation of that. If there's any kind of a surprise to the upside, we could have a move back up and a recovery back up to 9,400. Aussie has been sort of living off of the better than expected Chinese data. Nothing really on the calendar today to support it from that end, but we'll see how the RBA minutes play themselves out. To the downside, if they do press it to the downside, it's 93 that becomes the really big support here. 93 has been very solid support. So you really gotta have awfully bad news, sort of, we're gonna cut rates by 50 basis points tomorrow type of news in order for Aussie to kind of break all this significantly. But still, the breakout 94 failed, and certainly the path leaves resistance now is to the downside as we're waiting the RBA news. The RBA minutes. Dollar yen also very troubling for dollar yen bulls in the sense that 100 just could not hold third day in a row. We've paused and came off the highs. The 150 just simply could not get penetrated at this point. Still, if you're looking at it from the other end of it, still holding higher lows, still looking consolidated rather than completely negative. But the fact that we kind of petered out here, now, if we come back to this moment of truth here at around 99, first of all, of course, if we come back down, the first test is going to be 99.50, but the second test at 99, that's going to be a really major test of whether this uptrend in dollar yen continues in place or whether we get some kind of a more serious sell-off. And the pound just petering out here at the 61.50, not doing much, kind of hanging out, similar as euro, but the downside on the pound looks certainly a lot more healthier than I think the euro does, in the sense that we took out all of these moves here over the last 3 or 4 days. But the pound is also notorious for kind of making big, bold moves and then petering itself out. What is powerful, I think, and what is supportive for a longer pound move is the fact that we have a W bottom here, a relatively strong support here at 59, and certainly enough of a base here to make us want to see if we could possibly run towards the 62s, 62.50s. But that really entails a much stronger anti-dollar move. So we have to, I think, for cable to really make it all the way up here, you got to see euro clear 35.50 as the week progresses, and that's a big question mark in front of us. The last thing I think to watch is also the flame out in the Kiwi. Where's my Kiwi? That was an interesting flame out too, and even more pronounced than the one even in the Aussie. And this flame out at 84 also showing quite a lot of resistance here, as the calm dollars just simply can't get too much traction to the upside. So again, right now everything looks to the downside on the calm dollar side as the path leaves resistance, and that could be the trade as we go into the Asian and the European session tonight. Wishing you guys the best of luck, the best trading in sports. Over now.